Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 21, conversation between Swambhuva Manu and Kardamuni, text number 35 onwards. अथ सम्प्रस्थिते शुक्ले कर्दमो भगवान् ऋषिः आस्ते स्म बिन्दु सरसि तं कालं प्रतिपालयन्. Then after the departure of the Lord, the worshipful sage Kardam stayed on the bank of Bindu Sarovar, awaiting the time of which the Lord had spoken. So the Lord had told him that day after tomorrow, Swambhuva Manu will come looking for a right groom for his daughter. Text 36. Manu Syandanam Astaya Shatakomba Parichadam Arupya Swam Duhitaram Swabharyas Paryatan Mahim. Swambhuva Manu with his wife mounted his chariot, which was decorated with golden ornaments. Placing his daughter on it with them, he began traveling all over the world. The Emperor Manu, as a great ruler of the world, could have engaged an agent to find a suitable husband for his daughter. But because he loved her just as a father should, he himself left his estate on a golden chariot with only his wife to find her a suitable husband. So that was Swambhuva Manu's love for his daughter Devhuti. Tasmin Sudhan Vanhani Bhagwan Yat Samadishat Upayadashram Padam Mune Shanta Vratasya Tat. O Vidura, they reached the hermitage of the sage who had just completed his vows of austerity on the very day foretold by the Lord. Text 38-39. Yasmin Bhagavato Netrane Apatanna Shru Bindavaha Kripya Samparitasya Prapanne Arpitaya Brisham Tadve Bindu Saro Nama Saraswatya Pariplutam Punyam Shivamrita Jalam Maharshi Gana Sevitam. The holy lake Bindu Sarovar, flooded by the waters of the river Saraswati, was resorted to by hosts of eminent sages. Its holy water was not only auspicious but as sweet as nectar. It was called Bindu Sarovar because drops of tears had fallen there from the eyes of the Lord, who was overwhelmed by extreme compassion for the sage who had sought his protection. So it's called Bindu Sarovar because drops of tear had fallen there from the eyes of the Lord. So drops of tear of the Lord are also transcendental, as spiritual as the Lord himself. Kardamuni underwent austerities to gain the causeless mercy of the Lord, and when the Lord arrived there, he was so compassionate that in pleasure he shed tears which became Bindu Sarovar. Bindu Sarovar therefore is worshipped by great sages and learned scholars because according to the philosophy of the Absolute Truth, the Lord and the tears from his eyes are not different. Just as drops of perspiration which fell from the toe of the Lord became the sacred Ganges, so teardrops from the transcendental eyes of the Lord became Bindu Sarovar. So the drops of perspiration which fell from the toe of the Lord became the sacred Ganges. So that story will come when we hear about Vamandev, when Vamandev was measuring the whole 3 paces of land that was given to him by Bali Maharaj. So first step, he covered up to all the heavenly planets. Second step, when he raised his big toe of the right foot, it went through the covering of the universe. And with the hole that was created in the covering, the drop of uh, Karan ocean fell. And here it's also said it's drops of perspiration. So there could be some perspiration also from the Lord's lotus feet. And then they fell, and that's how the Ganges appeared. So that how Ganges appeared. Both are transcendental entities and are worshipped by great sages and scholars. Now, see, those who don't have faith, they can make up their own stories. They can say, so those drops fell down at that time, and that was Swayambhuva Manu's Satyuga, first Satyuga. Now we are in 7th Manu's 28th Kali Yuga. How can we say the same drops or same effect is still there? Now all the rainwater is coming there, and the Sarovar must be filled with the rainwater. Even the same thing they can say about Ganges. So Ganges, okay, at that time when Bhagirath Maharaj brought her down, maybe it was pure, but now the water is gone. Now the rainwater is there. Where is the transcendental water? But the point is, at such locations, how can we get ordinary material water? It might look like ordinary material water, but it cannot be ordinary water. Just like when we see Vrindavan, now scriptures say it's all spiritual. It's not different from Golok Vrindavan. But those who don't have faith, they'll say, oh, it's the same trees, or even worse trees than outside Vrindavan you see. And the sand is so, and the soil is so sandy. But the outside soil cannot mix with the spiritual soil of Vrindavan. Outside water cannot mix with the spiritual water that we see in Vrindavan. The Radha Kund is not filled up with the rainwater. Radha Kund is filled up with the water that is coming from 64 crore, 64 or 68, something like that, crore tirthas water that is coming from underneath. So basically, it's a matter of faith. Those who have faith, they still believe Bindu Sarovar water is as transcendental as it was originally. Those who don't have faith cannot do anything with them. The water of Bindu Sarovar is described here as Shivamrita Jal. Shiva means curing. Anyone who drinks the water of Bindu Sarovar is cured of all material diseases. Similarly, anyone who takes his bath in the Ganges also is relieved of all material diseases. These claims are accepted by great scholars and authorities and are still being acted upon him, even in this fallen age of Kali. So, fallen age of Kali is when it creates all sorts of doubts in our mind. पुण्य द्रुमलता जाले कूजत पुण्यम मृगाद्विचः सर्वर्तु फल पुष्पाड्यम वनराजे श्रियान्वितम. The shore of the lake was surrounded by clusters of pious trees and creepers, rich in fruits and flowers of all seasons, that afforded shelter to pious animals and birds which uttered in various cries. It was adorned by the beauty of groves of forest trees. It is stated here that Bindu Sarovar was surrounded by pious trees and birds. As there are different classes of men in human society, some pious and virtuous and some impious and sinful, so also among trees and birds, there are the pious and the impious. Trees which do not bear nice fruit or flowers are considered impious, and birds which are very nasty, such as crows, are considered impious. In the land surrounding Bindu Sarovar, there was not a single impious bird or tree. Every tree bore fruits and flowers, and every bird sang the glories of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So every tree that bears either fruits or flowers is considered pious. Otherwise, the trees which has only thorns or useless leaves, of course, useless in terms of our perspective. Otherwise, everything is useful from Krishna's perspective. But those trees are considered impious. But the problem is, those trees are the ones which grow faster. They don't require much water, or they don't take up much space. And I mean, that's why even the government tries to plant those kind of trees. But they're not considered pious. So if we have pious trees, the area becomes pious, means it has positive vibrations. Not by having uh, some some other trees which are with thorns and no fruits, no flowers. So it's better to plant trees which have fruits or flowers. Matta bij ganer gushtam, matta brahmar vibramam, matta barhir tatopam, ahvayan matta kokilam. The area resounded with the notes of overjoyed birds. Intoxicated bees wandered there. Intoxicated peacocks proudly danced, and merry cuckoos called one another. The beauty of the pleasant sounds heard in the area sounded like surrounding lake. Bindu Sarovar is described here. After drinking honey, the black bees became maddened and they hummed in intoxication. Merry peacocks danced just like actors and actresses, and merry cuckoos called their mates very nicely. So even the peacocks, birds, and the bees, they were enjoying in that area. कदम्ब चंपका शोक कर जब कुलासन है कुंद मंदार कुट जैतु जैश्चुपोत्तरंकुल कृतम कारंडव प्लवैर्हंस है कुररै जल कुक्कुट है सारसैश चक्र वाक्यश्च चकोरैर्वल्गु कूजितम. Lake Bindu Sarovar was adorned by flowering trees such as Kadam, Champak, Ashok, Karanj, Bakul, Asan, Kunda, Mandar, Kutaj, and young mango trees. The air was filled with the pleasing notes of Karanadeva, ducks, flowers, swans, ospreys, waterfowl, cranes, chakravarks, and chakoras. For most of the trees, flowers, fruits, and birds mentioned here as surrounding Bindu Sarovar Lake, English synonyms cannot be found. All the trees mentioned are very pious in that they produce a nice aromatic flower, such as the champa, kadam, and bakul. The sweet sound of the waterfowl and cranes made the surrounding area as pleasant as possible and created a very suitable spiritual atmosphere. So that kind of atmosphere is in the mode of goodness. So it induces the mode of goodness in the persons living in that area. तथैव हरिणे क्रोड श्वाविद गव्य कुंजर गोपुच्छर हरिभिर मर्कैर नकुलैर नाभि अभिवृतम. Its shores abounded with deers, boars, porcupines, gavyas, elephants, baboons, lions, monkeys, mongooses, and musk deer. Musk deer are not found in every forest, but only in places like Bindu Sarovar. They are always intoxicated by the aroma of musk secreted from their navels. Gavyas, the species of cows mentioned herein, bear a bunch of hair at the end of their tails. This bunch of hair is used in temple worship to fan the deities. Gavyas are sometimes called chamaris, and they're considered very sacred. So there, the tail hair, which is called chamar, is used in the temple to worship the deities. But nowadays, we don't find this kind of cows anymore because people are killing and eating cows. So in the temple, then we use nylon chamars. They're not the exact chamar that are described in the scriptures. In India, there are still gypsies or forest mercantile people who flourish by trading kasturi or musk and the bunches of hair from the chamaris. These are always in great demand for higher classes of Hindu population, and such business still goes on in large cities and villages in India. But it's difficult to find the real charmer. And the charmer, when we offer to the Lord, what is the purpose of offering charmer? One is the peacock fan, and the other, before that, we offer charmer. Charmer basically removes, if there is any negative energy around, it removes all the negativities around. Because this is a worship. This is loving service of the Lord. When the devotee, of course, Lord, whenever the Lord is there, there cannot be any negative energy. But devotees, out of their love for Krishna, they want to remove every negative energy as much as possible. Just like when Krishna killed Putana, and Putana, when she fell down dead, her body was 12 miles long. And you can understand in proportion how wide that body must be. But Krishna was still 6 days old baby, and the gopis somehow they climbed on the top of the body of a dead Putna and they brought Krishna down. And then they did all they could to remove any inauspiciousness. First, they bathed him in uh, or cow dung or cow urine. They smeared on his body, and then they invoked all the different mercy of different deities. So the idea was to protect him from anything negative, anything inauspicious. And same thing here when we offer charmer to the Lord. The idea is to remove any negative energy there. Text 45 to 47. Pravishya tirtha varamadiraja sahatmajaha dadarshamanim asinam tasmin huthutashanam Vidyotamanam vapusha tapasya ugra yujachiram natikshamam bhagavataha snigdha pangava lokana tad tadvyahritam ritakalapi kalapa piyushra shravanena cha pranshram padma palashashaksham jatilam chirvasasam upasamshritya malinam yathara arhanam sanskritam. Entering that most sacred spot with his daughter and going near the sage, the first monarch, Swayambhuva Manu, saw the sage sitting in his hermitage, having just propitiated the sacred fire by pouring oblations into it. His body shone most brilliantly, though he had engaged in austere penance for a long time. He was not emaciated, for the Lord had cast his affectionate glance, upon him, and he had also heard the nectar flowing from the moonlight words of the mouth of the Lord. The sage was tall, his eyes were large, like the petals of a lotus, and he had matted locks on his head. He was clad in rags. Swayambhuva Manu approached and saw him to be somewhat soiled, like an unpolished gem. Here are some descriptions of a brahmachari yogi. In the morning, the first duty of a brahmachari seeking spiritual elevation is Hutta Hutashana, to offer sacrificial oblations to the Supreme Lord. Those engaged in brahmacharya cannot sleep until 7 or 9 o'clock in the morning. They must rise early in the morning, at least 1.5 hours before the sun rises, and offer oblations, or in this age they must chant the holy name of the Lord Hare Krishna. As referred to by Lord Chaitanya, Kalo Nastev 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 Gataranitha. There is no other alternative, no other alternative, no other alternative in this age to chanting the holy name of the Lord. The brahmachari must rise early in the morning and after placing himself should chant the holy name of the Lord. From the very features of the sage, it appeared that he had undergone great austerities. That is a sign of one observing brahmacharya, the vow of celibacy. If one lives otherwise, it will be manifest in the lust visible in his face and body. The word Vidyotamanam indicates that the brahmachari feature showed in his body. That is a certificate that one has undergone great austerity in yoga. A drunkard or smoker or sex monger can never be eligible to practice yoga. Generally, yogis look very skinny because they're not being comfortably situated. But Karta Muni was not emaciated, for he had seen the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. So Prabhupada first gives the duties of the brahmacharis that, like Karta Muni was a brahmachari, and he performed so many austerities, 10,000 years he performed austerities. And with the result being he got darshan of the Lord, and at the same time his body was not emaciated. There was a glow in his body, and that was divya glow, or Brahmatej. It's called Brahmatej also. So for a brahmachari, he has to get up early in the morning and chant his rounds, do some yajna, do the sacrifice. And Prabhupada says, for a person engaged in sinful activities, these kind of austerities is not possible. Similarly, one who hears the transcendental sound vibrations of the holy names of the Lord Hare Krishna, also improves in health. So if you want to improve the health, it's better we chant and hear Harinam every day properly. We have actually seen that many brahmacharis and grahasthas connected with the International Society for Krishna Consciousness have improved in health, and a luster has come to their faces. So they don't need to go to any parlor to get the makeup done. The luster is already there. So that's also an advantage of becoming a devotee. So you can save money. It is essential that a brahmachari engaged in spiritual advancement look very healthy and lustrous. The comparison of the sage to an unpolished gem is very appropriate. Even if a gem just taken from a mine looks unpolished, the luster of the gem cannot be stopped. Similarly, although Kardam was not properly dressed and his body was not properly cleansed, his overall appearance was gem-like. So Swambhuva Manu, when he looked at Kardam Muni, so he could see the spiritual potency in Kardam Muni. So we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandatna.
Please,
where is this lake situated, Prabhuji? Sorry, in case you've already said and I missed it.
There's one near Ahmedabad.
Okay.
And there is one in Bhubaneswar also. There is Bindu Sarovar, but I don't know about the Bhubaneswar Bindu Sarovar. I know the Ahmedabad one, they say, yes, Kardam Muni used to live here.
Near Ahmedabad?
Yeah.
So I'll find that out. Thank you. Must be very pious, no? Similar to...
pious and it's kept very nicely by the government, by the Gujarat government. The whole
Very
area is developed very nicely.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And Bhubaneswar, which side will it be, Prabhuji? Somewhere around that Puri area.
Bhubaneswar, not Puri, near Lingaraj temple.
Near Lingaraj. Acha, there's a big Sarovar. Is that Bindu Sarovar?
Yeah.
There's a big lake. Oh, thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Did we go to Bindu Sarovar when we went to Ahmedabad?
Yep. We had Katha there. We all sat down on the steps of that Bindu Sarovar. We did the Katha.
Yeah, it was so beautiful lake. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
And it's kept very nicely by the government and the whole area.
Absolutely, yeah. It's so beautiful place. We took so many pictures.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's in Ahmedabad, proper Ahmedabad, Prabhuji.
Close to Ahmedabad. Just outskirts, little outskirts. Chalo, I guess we can stop here. You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you.